Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Well, it's part 3 of the Tim Holtz Portrait Dolls card series, and it's time for the Marine Biologist. Here are the first 2 cards I did in the series, and the videos for those will be linked down below. All right, you guys, I have this new to me Prima ship stamp. And then I have these old stamps in my stash that I love and adore from Hero Arts, and this one from Simon Hurley. The Hero Art ones I don't believe are available anymore, but the Simon Hurley one is. And I also have this Amazonia ephemera cut-aparts paper pad from Stamperia. There is a major thunderstorm going on here, so you may hear some thunder in the background. I really wanted to use these strips, these borders. I just loved them. And I also want to use the City Maps paper pad from DCWV, Die Cuts with a View. I love their paper. And I got this one from Joann's some time ago. All right, so I am going to make this map kind of the full background for my card. I am making a card to fit in a 6x9 envelope. My card ends up being 5.5 wide by 8.5 tall. So that'll easily fit in the 6x9. You can get 6x9 envelopes just about anywhere, probably your local grocery store, Dollar Tree, wherever. And they're like the yellow ones with the flap and the metal fastener, those kinds of envelopes, which I think this card would look great in, personally. Okay, so I am using this Simon Hurley stamp, and I cut my paper into 2 sections because I wanted to treat them differently. So for this one, I am embossing it with the Tim Holtz embossing glaze. I think, yeah, I have used this in every single video. Look how shiny it is when it's all melted. It's absolutely beautiful. Now I want to take the other piece that I had cut off, and I want to stamp this one with this gorgeous ship. I love this ship image so much, you guys. It's a ship with flowers and music notes as the ocean. It's just so pretty. My stamping impression here doesn't really give it all of its glory because I'm stamping it on patterned paper, and I didn't get a great first impression because I'd never stamped it before. It's still good enough to work for this card because it is a background, and I'm going to have a lot of other things going on, like all of these creatures. So I'm going to start kind of lining things up here, getting a visual for how I want to arrange things. So I had that piece of mask from my turtle stamp set. I'm grabbing the stamps from my seahorse and whale. And then look who's making an appearance. My brown paper. I did leave it linked in the video last time, and I will leave it linked in this video. What I'm doing right now is folding an origami ship. Okay, so I knew I wanted a pretty good size ship. I don't have any dies for it. I thought about doing no dies, no problem. And then I thought, I bet there's an origami ship or boat that I could do. So I found a tutorial linked down below of a guy folding toilet paper. I think it was probably for like cruise ships or something. You know how they always fold the swan towels and the edges of the toilet paper when they've cleaned your room. And I just knew that this one in particular would fold flat really well for a card. Sometimes origami is, or a lot of times, 3-dimensional. Now, this is not traditional to glue with origami, but I'm making a card. So I'm gluing pieces down and together. With this bottom one, I put another piece on top. What I like about this is I could make this any size I needed it, and I wanted the ship to take up a good portion of this card. And by working with a larger card, I can work with larger elements. So I am just kind of adding some more details here to the ship. I am going to use this tea dyed paper and trace out where the sails would be, and I will end up adding these tea dyed sails to the ship, which I really love this look. These cards are pretty vintage that I've been making in this series. They're very detailed and they have been so much fun. So thank you so much for those who are following along with this series. I'm having an absolute blast making these cards. I think they really feel like a culmination of the kind of card maker that I have become in a lot of ways. And it's just fun to see my skill set and my knowledge and my joy for crafting and card making come together in this way. I know I don't mean to be boastful about my cards in this series, but I just love seeing, where I've come in card making and like the kind of cards that I can make. It's very just satisfying and very exciting as a card maker. So right here, I'm kind of lining things up. I'm measuring things out to make sure that I have everything at the right height. And I am going to show you just a little bit of stamping. I did quite a bit of stamping because I do like to stamp more than I need. And so, for instance, I'm only going to use one of these seahorses, but I stamped 4 of them. These are layering stamps, which are fun. I really love, these old Hero Arts layering stamp sets. They put out a number of them back when I was starting card making, and they're just lovely. Now, I pulled this one off of the plastic sheet, and I accidentally ripped that little tail off. But the good thing about photopolymer stamps is that you can piece it back together. I would just recommend to be gentle. This stamp is pretty thin because it only has detail, very little detail for the darkest spots on the seahorse. So that's why it ripped easily. There she is, all finished up. And then I will stamp out the turtle with all of its details. I decided to stamp its shell separately from the body, and that way I could pop it up with foam tape. And I love the dimension I got from this. So that was a fun alteration of that stamp set. I'll tell you that this has been the most exciting part of this card series is when I get to this point. So, I spend time kind of creating all the elements of the card. And then for me, the most exciting part is when it all comes together, when I really start to get to take it all and turn it into the card that's in my head. So even as I edit this video, I'm like, oh my gosh, here it is. It's happening. It's coming together. So, you've probably been seeing more videos from me this week. I did decide to do the 100-day project. And in case you've missed those videos and maybe this is the first one you've seen, I'm doing the 100-day project to just increase my skills and challenge myself and branch out and hopefully expose my channel to even more paper crafters. I'm going to be doing a lot of journaling, card making, stash busting, stash building, just all kinds of things. And I hope that that's something that you'll come along for and enjoy. So here it is. I'm finally getting to put all of these elements together, and I am loving it. This card makes me so happy as it comes together. It's like a vision to me. Um, I think one of the exciting things for me as an artist, because I've done so many different types of arts, but something about finding card making and paper crafting was being able to kind of execute my vision and building my skills to be able to, paper craft in a way that I really wanted to. And I think with card making, it's so bite sized that it's possible. Um, and it's such an approachable hobby because you don't have to have drawing skills that you've been establishing for years or painting skills or any special training. Anyone can make a card. Anyone. Children do it. Anyone can make a card. And I think that's one of the really appealing things for card making for a lot of us. And I just love seeing, since 2016 is when I started card making, like to see all of the mutations of my approach. And I'm very happy with where I'm at currently. And, I know that I'll continue to grow and continue to change. And that's an exciting thing. And so by doing the 100-day project, I'm super excited to kind of meet myself at the end of it and to see where I've landed. It feels like a challenge and it feels like an opportunity to grow at warp speed. And I find that really exciting. So we will see how it goes. I am adding details to this boat with just a dark alcohol marker. I added, the brown to the mast of the ship, and then I added it underneath the sails and at the very bottom of the boat, all with just a dark alcohol marker, one color. And then I had these teeny tiny little strips on a piece of scrap, and I thought that they really tied this boat together very well with the side borders of this card. So I'm so pleased that I decided to go ahead and add those to it. Let's tackle the inside of this card. I'm going to bring that stamp set back and stamp it on the inside of the card. It just helps tie it all together, bring the whole card kind of full circle, and I love decorating the insides of my cards. So I'm going to stamp the ocean all the way across here. This isn't your typical ocean stamp. I think it's called Ripple. I wish I had it handy because I could confirm that for you, but it symbolizes water, and I love it because sometimes an ocean is super turbulent. We watched on Disney Plus a fantastic series. It's a short series called Epic Adventures. And wow, if you're looking for, a new show to watch, we as a family, we thoroughly enjoyed it. And so this card was really fun to make because we had just kind of gone on these epic adventures, granted, through the television, but seeing a lot of sea life and learning so much about our magical ocean. The sentiment says, wishing you oceans of joy. And I will go ahead and distress all the edges because I think, again, that helps tie it to the front of the card, having that distressed look. So here is the card. Oh, I love it so much, you guys. That little guy is an aspiring marine biologist, and I think he's going to make it. I think he's going to do some amazing work. And here is the inside of the card. I really just love this card, love this series. I hope you're enjoying it too. Here are the first two cards again, and they will be linked down below. I only have one more card in the series to show you guys, and that's the Baker. See you next week for that one. Bye.